Ladies and gentlemen, hello, zdravo, dobar dan, it's Charles, and today I've got some more questions from another American that's interested in coming here to Serbia. So let me get started. I'm not going to ramble. Let me ramble real quick. I apologize for these fairies on the wall. I don't know if you can see them. Don't think I decorated the room in fairies. I know you Albanians, Croatians, and Bosnians, and those people that hate me are going to get a big kick out of this, and the rumors are going to fly that Charles has fairies on his bedroom wall. This room is just quieter than the others, and it's warmer in here, so that's why I'm coming to you from here. Anyway, Kelly Russell from Texas. Man, I get a lot of messages from Americans in Texas that are interested in Serbia. She says her best friend, Sanella, told her about me. And her best friend lives in Somber. So Sanella, thank you for telling Kelly about me. I'm honored. And she told me to contact you if I had any questions. Here we go. Question number 1. I'm wanting to know about a visa. Do I need one? Kelly. No, you do not need a visa to come here to Serbia if you're an American citizen. You can fly, you book your flight through whomever you like. You fly here into Belgrade, Serbia. You get out, you go through customs, they'll stamp your passport, and you get 90 days here in this country. And if you decide to stay longer, you must leave the country. You're only allowed 90 days in a 180-day period is how the law works, unless you get a visa to work here, charitable thing, or some different things like that. So you get 90 days. Another thing you need to do, I didn't mention in my last video, within 24 hours, if you're an American or a foreigner here in Serbia, you must register at the local police station. I've never had that before in any country I've been to, but you do here in Serbia. So if you're going to stay with Sanella in Somber, take her to the police station within 24 hours of your arrival, and they'll just give you a quick little registration card. It's a white one that's in English and in Serbian, and they say you need it when you leave the country, and if you don't have it, you can get a fine. But I've left the country many times without that card, and I've never had any problems. But to save problems, make sure you keep it, okay? Question 2, medications. What can I travel with, and do I need a doctor's note to bring it here? Well, you know, you're allowed to bring your medications, your prescription medication into Serbia, and I suffer from attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And so when I came here the first time in 2010, I had some Adderall and Xanax. And those two drugs are, Adderall is a controlled substance in the United States of America. But here in Serbia, they didn't ask me questions. They didn't even look in my bag. But it says in the thing, I looked it up, you're allowed to bring your medications in here. If you've got a controlled substance such as Adderall or something like that, it might not hurt to get a doctor's note or something, just in case, you know, just to be safe. Next question. What are you allowed to bring over? Well, bringing stuff into Serbia does have some high custom fees. For instance, if you decide to ship some things over here, they can charge you up to 20% of the value of that product, and that can be at their own discretion. And I've talked to many people about this because I'm getting ready to ship. My sister is shipping me over a bunch of things. And we're kind of nervous to see how the custom's going to be, because everybody I've talked to said, well, they really don't know. It depends on the custom agent that's looking at it. He can say, hey, here in Serbia, this is worth $50, so you pay this. But if you're bringing stuff into the country, I think you're allowed up to 1 liter of alcohol without paying extra. You can bring 1 bottle of perfume. I know I read that. I'm going to put the link in the description here from the Serbian tourist organization that'll kind of explain some of the things. But don't try to bring meat or anything like that in. But you know, to be honest with you, if you want my honest opinion, every time I've came in here, they've never looked in my bag and asked me anything like that. So just kind of be safe. Don't bring meat products. You know, if you bring food or something, make sure it's packaged like chips or maybe closed items, cheese that's processed and everything, something like that. You know, and little gifts. You know, a lot of Serbians love like American things that are made in America, if you can even find that anymore, you know, like a flag. I get so many of my friends that say, hey, I want a little American flag, or I want something with like baseball jersey or, you know, shirts or something with just something special to the United States so they can remember it. Keychains too. Next thing, what's legal to bring back into the United States? Well, the United States, I've been to many countries and flown into the United States, and anything animal product wise, seeds, things like that, you cannot bring into the United States. And I shouldn't say this on video, but when I went to Australia, I actually brought back a skull. It was from a fish, the skull of a fish. It was a big fish that I had mounted on something, and I brought some seeds back, and I had them in my suitcase. I forgot all about it, and they never caught them. But you're not supposed to do that because that can cause, big problems with our agriculture, can introduce, pests and things like that. But in the United States, you can bring in condiments, and here in Serbia, that's something really, really nice, like Ivar, urna base, things such as that you can bring in. They're in a sealed container, and as long as they do not have meat in them, you can bring them into the United States. There's also something called ren, and it's a really spicy little condiment, something you might want to bring back for your family. You can bring oils, cookies, you can bring cheeses, as long as there's no meat inside and that it's sealed properly. You can bring cheeses back, and Serbia has some awesome, awesome cheese. Fish is also okay. You can bring fish, dried fish, smoked fish, frozen fish even, it says on the Homeland Security thing. And only thing you can't bring is meat. No canned meat, no nothing with meat in it. Next question, what types of food are enjoyed? Well, Serbia, one thing about this country that I really, really like is the food. The food here, I think you're going to love it. They have just fantastic, almost everything I've eaten I've really, really enjoyed. And they serve their meals a lot of times when you go to a home, especially if you're a foreigner and it's a special dinner, it'll be pretty large, so be prepared for that. For instance, you go someplace, and a lot of times, like traditional Serbian meal, they'll have like a bowl of soup, a big thing of soup. You eat soup first, then they get rid of it, and they bring the next course, and then sometimes they'll bring a third course. So always kind of ask, the schedule of it, or you're going to leave, absolutely full, or you're going to miss out on something really good. Like a Slava I went to, they started out with some sarma, and I ate like a ton of sarma, like 8 pieces, 6, 7 pieces of sarma first of all, and then they took it away, and then they brought roasted meats and pork and salad and all these things. And then you eat it, and then they brought the cakes and stuff. So I mean, there's a segments, that it comes in. So be careful. And but the food, they eat a lot of pork here. They eat a lot of meat, roasted meats, barbecue meat, like roasted meat, things like that. It's phenomenal. They have very, very tasty condiments, like I mentioned earlier, organ base, Ivar, things like that you add to the meat, you eat with it. Really good stuff here. My favorites are sarma and the burgers. I'm an American, of course, like you, but I love burgers, and the burgers here are massive. You can get a pljeskavica, they're called. Some of them are 400 grams. I don't know what that is in our pounds, but it's a hell of a lot, But very, very good food. You'll love it. Also sweets. They have some really good sweets here. A lot of homes will make these really small, little thick, little different candies and cakes and things, and it's really, really good. What kind of nature have I seen? Well, Serbia is a great place for nature also. There's many, Vojvodina, which is a northern section, which you're going to be. You're going to be in a Sombor, and that's in the region of Vojvodina. And Vojvodina is pretty flat. There's a couple places there, Fruška Gora, that's got mountains and lots of trees. But other than that, it's a really agricultural area, and it's pretty flat. But you've got some really nice little lakes and rivers there. When you get to central Serbia, in central west Serbia and east Serbia, you've got a lot more mountains and you've got a lot of untouched nature. South Serbia, amazing for that. You've got tons of mountains down there, big cliffs. You've got these streams that are so clean that you can drink out of them. You've got a ton of spas in South Serbia with natural hot water thermal springs that are used for medicinal purposes and just relaxation. You've got these forests down there that are just unbelievably thick and all over. You've got some really unique, like Devil's Town, they call it, down by South Serbia, and it's like these unusual rock formations. The only place in the world. You've got the Zlatibor, where there's skiing and snowy places. I mean, so you've got a ton of it. You don't have that many really wild animals here. They've got a lot of, in the woods in South Serbia, they've got a lot of wild boars, like big ones. They can get up to 400 kilograms. Somebody told me. You've got some big things like that. You've got some wolves down there, but not a whole lot. wild horses even down by Sičevo, Serbia. There's wild horses, and then different smaller animals, foxes and things like that. So there's quite a bit of nature, beautiful nature here. How long will it take to fly from Houston to Sombor? Well, there's not really an airport in Sombor, but a flight from Houston, you probably, I don't think there's any direct flights, but some of the most common destination or linking locations would be Paris. So you can fly from Houston to Paris, and that's about 9 hours. And then from Paris to Belgrade, it's about 2.5 hours. So you're looking at about 10, 11 hours, something like that, to get you there. Or a lot of people fly from, maybe Chicago or Houston to Frankfurt. Frankfurt's one of the busiest hub for linking you to other destinations. So it's about 9 hours across to Paris and then 2 hours to Serbia. What else? Oh, and to get to Sombor. Sombor does not have an international airport, so you're going to fly into Belgrade. And Belgrade is about 2 hours, 2.5 hour to Sombor. Sombor is located really close to the Hungarian border and the Croatian border. So you're way over there in the northwest part of the country. And a beautiful part of the country. So you get some countries close by that's easy to get into and visit. Sombor's got about 50,000 people in the city, and it's actually the main city in the Opština. The Opština is like the county. We would call it maybe the county seat. So it's got like all these other villages that come there for governmental things. The fire department and all that stuff is in Sombor, and around there's about 89,000 people. So it's a good sized little city. I've seen some beautiful pictures of it. I feel really bad because I've never been there, but I will soon because I'm doing this big series called Say Serbia Television, and we're going to be going to all these places and doing 30-minute episodes to show the whole thing there. So anyway, I hope I answered all your questions. Anyway, if your friend Sanela doesn't meet you at the bus station or the airport in Belgrade, you can don't take a taxi, but find a bus. There's buses right outside the international airport that'll take you right to the main bus station. And it's autobuska stanica is how you say it in Serbian. You can get there, and then almost about every hour, there's buses that go everywhere. I mean, and they're always on time here in Serbia. They're clean. They're friendly people. They're not really overcrowded. On the over the road buses, the city buses are really crowded, but your long distance buses aren't. So you can probably have a bus about every hour to Sombor. So anyway, it's really easy to find. People speak English beautifully there at the bus station, and Serbians are very, very helpful. And so if you're friendly to them, they're going to be friendly to you. And the majority of people speak English, so if you have any problems at the airport, say, hey, how do I get here? They'd be more than happy to help you. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to get off here. My videos are too long. Hvala vam. Do viđenja. Enjoy your time, Kelly. And I'm starting a tour company, so I'll send you some info on my tour company. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.